He won a race on a Thursday. He took his bow in victory lane like he always did. Slow. Deliberate. Owning every single second of it. Then he grabbed the microphone and said something that nobody in that moment fully understood. You never know when the last one is going to be. So cherish them all. Trust me. The crowd cheered. The cameras rolled. Everyone moved on. 6 days later, Kyle Busch was dead. No warning. No goodbye. No final lap. Just a statement posted online on a Thursday morning with one word that made every person who read it stop breathing for a second. Severe. That was it. That was all his family said. And within hours, the greatest winner in NASCAR history was gone at 41 years old. Now here is what nobody is talking about. The signs were already there. 3 of them. Hiding in plain sight across the 2026 season, and everyone missed them. His crew missed them. The broadcasters missed them. The fans missed them. Kyle Busch might have missed them too. This is not just a tribute video. This is the full story of what really happened in the final weeks of Rowdy's life, what those warning signs actually meant, and why NASCAR will never be the same after May 21, 2026. Stay with me. Because this story is unlike anything this sport has ever seen. And if this story already means something to you, take 5 seconds right now, hit like and subscribe. Every single subscriber helps us tell stories like this one the right way. The morning of May 21, 2026 began like any other race week. Then Kyle Busch's official X account posted a statement that stopped the NASCAR world cold. Kyle has experienced a severe illness resulting in hospitalization. He is currently undergoing treatment and will not compete in any of his scheduled activities this weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway. That was it. No details. No timeline. No cause. Austin Hill was announced as his replacement in the number 8 Chevrolet for the upcoming Coca-Cola 600. Families do not use the word severe in public statements unless they are dealing with something genuinely, terrifyingly serious. That word carried weight. The racing world held its breath. Social media filled with concern. The sport was 3 days away from its longest race, and nobody wanted to say what everyone feared. Later that same Thursday the answer came. The joint statement from the Busch family, Richard Childress Racing and NASCAR read, "On behalf of the Busch family, everyone at Richard Childress Racing and all of NASCAR, we are devastated to announce the sudden and tragic passing of Kyle Busch." No cause of death was given. None was needed. The word tragic said everything. The shock that followed was immediate and total. Brad Keselowski posted, "Absolute shock. Very hard to process." Denny Hamlin, his former teammate and most recent rival, wrote, "Absolutely cannot comprehend this news. We just need to think of his family during this time. We love you, KB." Ricky Stenhouse Jr. said it plainly, "Rest easy, Rowdy. The sport won't be the same without you." Clint Bowyer, who had spoken to Busch just days earlier, wrote simply, "I just talked to him Friday." John Hunter Nemechek called him more than a mentor and a longtime friend. Chase Briscoe said 2 of his favorite career wins came racing directly against KB, precisely because of who he was racing against. The pattern was the same across every tribute. Shock was the universal first word. Jimmie Johnson told CBS Mornings, "Kyle Busch wasn't just one of the fiercest competitors our sport has ever seen. He described Busch as a ruthless competitor, in the best way possible." Jeff Gordon remembered him as a champion and prolific racer who made a tremendous impact. Dale Earnhardt Jr. offered a deeply personal tribute, one rooted in a complicated history that we will return to later. He wrote, "I will never be able to make sense of this loss, but I am thankful that we had found a way to become friends." The condolences extended far beyond NASCAR. Formula One sent its respects. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway lit up its scoring pylon with Busch's image. The Carolina Hurricanes held a moment of silence before their NHL Eastern Conference Finals opener. The Coca-Cola 600 was confirmed to go ahead as scheduled. That is what Kyle Busch would have wanted. He would have told them to race. Kyle Thomas Busch was born May 2, 1985, in Las Vegas, Nevada, into a racing family. His father Tom was a mechanic who raced locally after relocating from Schaumburg, Illinois. Kyle grew up racing go-karts in cul-de-sacs and parking lots, progressed through Legends cars at the Vegas Bullring, and moved into late model competition. His older brother Kurt, 7 years his senior and already a NASCAR star, set the competitive benchmark. In 2001, Kurt delivered one of the most accurate predictions in motorsports history. "You think I'm a pretty good race car driver? Wait until you see my brother. He's the best driver in the family." Kyle himself understood the importance of standing on his own. He said, I need to be my own person and make my own way and show everybody that I can drive. He made his own way. Then he made history. He signed with Jack Roush at just 16 years old, still in high school. When NASCAR raised its minimum age requirement to 18 following a cigarette advertising settlement, the deal was delayed. That waiting period gave Kyle time to forge his own identity. He signed with Rick Hendrick's organization in 2003. His O'Reilly Series debut came May 24, 2003, finishing second to Matt Kenseth at Charlotte. The following year, racing full-time, he won 5 races and finished second overall. And in Victory Lane, a celebration was born, the slow, deliberate bow. A tribute to his Las Vegas roots. A magician appearing from the smoke of another triumphant burnout. Already becoming a character, not just a driver. His full Cup Series debut with Hendrick Motorsports in 2005 paired him with crew chief Alan Gustafson in the number 5 Chevrolet. He became the series' youngest winner at the time, claiming victory at Auto Club Speedway in his 31st start and winning Rookie of the Year. He raced alongside Jimmie Johnson and Jeff Gordon and collected 4 Cup wins across 3 seasons. The personality was fully formed. The booze rained down. His response? He climbed out of the car and took a slow, deliberate bow. The more fuel they gave him, the faster he seemed to go. When Dale Earnhardt Jr. was signed for 2008, Busch was let go to make room. Even in that departure there was respect. Rick Hendrick said after Busch's death, "Kyle was one of the most talented drivers I've ever seen and a racer in the truest sense. It was not an ending. It was a launchpad." What happened next was the most dominant run in the history of NASCAR's 3 National Series. Joe Gibbs Racing in 2008. The iconic yellow number 18 M&M's Toyota. One of the most recognizable cars in motorsports history. In his 15-year JGR tenure, Busch won at least 1 Cup race in every single season. 56 of his 63 Cup Series wins came here. 90 O'Reilly Auto Parts wins. In 2009 alone, he won 9 O'Reilly Series races and 7 of 15 Truck Series races in the same calendar year. The kind of versatility across 3 different series at that level of competition had simply never been seen before. He also built Kyle Busch Motorsports, running from 2010 to 2023, recording 100 wins as an owner and 2 championships. Eric Jones in 2015 and Christopher Bell in 2017. He didn't just win. He built the next generation. Then came February 2015. A catastrophic crash in the season-opening O'Reilly Series race at Daytona. His car struck an unprotected wall. Both legs broken. Doctors said 6 months minimum. He was back in 3. This is who Kyle Busch was. He didn't just return. He came back and ran everyone down. The rest of the field had a 3-month head start. He won his 5th race back. Then 3 of the next several. At Homestead, with the championship on the line, while his crew anxiously paced the pit box, Kyle Busch sat calmly inside his car singing the theme song to Vocabulary, Baby Brexton's favorite show. It kept him calm. It worked. He crossed the finish line as the 2015 NASCAR Cup Series champion. His words after the recovery process: "I wouldn't recommend it if you're trying to achieve a championship, but it made us mentally stronger and physically stronger." He broke his legs in February. He was champion by November. Even by Kyle Busch standards, that year was something else. He won his 2nd championship in 2019, cementing a legacy beyond debate. The JGR era ended after 2022 when the primary sponsor was lost. No ugliness. Just a chapter closing. And the final chapter beginning. Richard Childress Racing. The number 8 Chevrolet. A partnership that carried its own history. Childress and Busch had previously had a post-race physical altercation at Kansas Speedway. Childress welcomed him with a watch, a humorous callback to his infamous "hold my watch" comment before their scuffle. In 2023, Busch won 3 races, including his final Cup Series victory at Gateway on June 4, 2023. 2024 and 2025 brought struggles. 2026 was a contract year. Everything on the line at age 41. Denny Hamlin said on his podcast, "If you're expecting Kyle Busch to go back to victory lane on a regular basis, you are kidding yourselves." Busch responded that he could make Hamlin's life hell on the racetrack. At Kansas, while laps down, he raced Hamlin hard. Hamlin faded. Tyler Reddick won. After Dover, Busch smiled and said, "I guess I just remembered how to drive." Even in the final months of his career, Kyle Busch was still Kyle Busch. But looking back, 2026 told a darker story. Before Daytona, a stool collapsed while he was fixing a smoke detector. His leg gushed blood. Samantha drove him to the hospital in the middle of the night, his leg propped on the dashboard covered in towels. Over 3 hours of emergency treatment. 24 stitches. He showed up at Daytona and raced. Not because he had to. Because that is who Kyle Busch was. On May 11th at Watkins Glen with 38 laps remaining, he calmly radioed his team, "I'm going to need a shot." He asked for Dr. William Heil to meet him at the bus after the race. He was battling a sinus cold exacerbated by the G-forces and elevation changes of the road course. He finished 8th, his best result of the 2026 season. Grinding through whatever he was feeling. In hindsight, it was something else entirely. Then came Dover, May 15th. He dominated the Truck Series race, leading 147 of 200 laps, claiming his 69th Truck Series win. In victory lane he took that bow. And when asked why winning never gets old, he said, "You take whatever you can get, man. You never know when the last one is going to be. So cherish them all. Trust me." 3 health events. 3 moments where the body was sending signals that no one, including Kyle, recognized for what they were. 6 days later, the word severe appeared in a public statement. Then came the word tragic. The cause of death doesn't change who he was. It doesn't change what he built. And it doesn't change what was lost. Samantha Busch married Kyle on New Year's Eve 2010. She drove him to the hospital in the middle of the night before the very season that ended his life. She was there at every stage, in sickness and in championship. Together they founded the Bundle of Joy Fund in 2015 to support couples seeking fertility treatments. On the night Kyle died, fans donated $18.08, a tribute to the number 18 and number 8 cars he drove across his career. Their son Brexton was born in 2015, the same year Kyle broke his legs and won the championship. He turned 11 on the Monday before his father died. Their daughter Lennox was 4 years old. Fatherhood shifted something fundamental in how Kyle saw the world. The man who once raced with pure aggression and ego found something bigger than the race. The boos from the grandstands softened over time. The fans who spent years against him slowly became believers. The heel became an elder statesman. William Byron said, "KB was the best mentor you could ever have. He was incredibly unselfish, cared about his people and his family deep." The Dale Earnhardt Jr. story captures it best. After years of difficult coexistence following Busch's departure from Hendrick, it was Kyle who initiated a conversation on his team bus. Earnhardt wrote, "Kyle and I had a really challenging existence for many years. But we luckily took the time to figure out our differences, and that was something he instigated." They had planned to run a late model together at Wilkesboro that summer. The seat-fitting meeting was scheduled for the Thursday Kyle died. Earnhardt wrote, "I will never be able to make sense of this loss, but I am thankful that we had found a way to become friends." He didn't just make peace. He made the effort. And that matters. Even Joey Logano, with whom Busch had a bloody pit road brawl in 2017, acknowledged the truth. The bottom line is he is one of the best drivers to ever sit in a race car. It's a really big reminder of how fragile life is. Even his enemies became respectful in the end. That's who Kyle Busch was. 234 combined wins across NASCAR's 3 national series. The previous record holder was Richard Petty, widely considered the greatest stock car driver who ever lived. Busch is 34 wins ahead of Petty. The next closest active competitor is Kevin Harvick at 121. To understand that number, consider this. Kevin Harvick had a Hall of Fame career. He's not even close. 63 Cup Series wins, 9th all-time. 102 O'Reilly Auto Parts Series wins, the all-time record. 69 Craftsman Truck Series wins, the all-time record. A Cup win in 19 consecutive seasons from 2005 through 2023, the all-time record. 2 Cup Series championships, 2015 and 2019. 100 wins and 2 championships as a team owner. These are not records that will be broken next year. Some of them may never be broken. At Charlotte Motor Speedway that weekend, drivers arrived and processed grief while preparing to race. Austin Hill climbed into the number 8 Chevrolet. The Coca-Cola 600 went on as scheduled. Because that is what Kyle Busch would have wanted. The Rowdy Nation, a fan base built on watching someone be relentlessly, defiantly themselves, poured donations into the Bundle of Joy Fund. $18.08 after $18.08. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway scoreboard lit up with his image. The Carolina Hurricanes held their moment of silence. He didn't just build a career. He built a community. He leaves behind Samantha, Brexton, and Lennox. His brother Kurt, the man who predicted it all. The drivers he mentored, Jones, Bell, Nemechek, Byron. The records that will stand. And the image of a man in victory lane at Dover, taking one last slow, deliberate bow. NASCAR called him a future Hall of Famer, a rare talent, one who comes along once in a generation. Back to Dover. May 15, 2026. Victory Lane. One final time. You take whatever you can get, man. You never know when the last one is going to be, so cherish them all. Trust me. Rowdy Nation didn't lose a driver. They lost a legend. If this story moved you, please consider donating to the Samantha and Kyle Busch Bundle of Joy Fund in his memory. This channel is just getting started, and we are working hard toward our goal of 1,000 subscribers. If you believe stories like this deserve to be told with care and honesty, a like and a subscribe genuinely means everything to us right now. It costs you nothing and helps us reach more people who care about these moments in sport. We appreciate every single one of you. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think Kyle Busch's sudden passing means for the future of NASCAR in 2026 and beyond? And how do you believe the sport should honor his legacy going forward? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Kyle Thomas Busch, May 2, 1985 to May 21, 2026.